Nixie, and today we're going to be doing some crafting. Now sometimes you can get inspiration from unusual places. So when I was recently opening the Zuru My Mini Babies, I thought they were really cute, and Series 2 I liked a lot more than Series 1, but there was one specific item I got that is going to be the reason we're doing this video today. And that item was this shark toy. I don't know why, it was cute, I really liked it, and because of this shark toy, we are doing a whole nursery based around this. We're doing an underwater sea-themed nursery for our mini baby, just because I like this cutie. So first up, we're going to need to start with the basic room, and for the walls I'm using foam board. I get A1 size bits from Hobbycraft, so I cut it down to 14 inches because that sort of seems a reasonable height for my dolls. And in the past I've just covered like the foam board, whereas this time I'm going to try painting because there was a specific colour I wanted in mind. This colour, to, you know, kind of match our shark. However, when I was in Hobbycraft, there were some other paints that I also like the look of. So we've got this one, which is a shimmer paint in a sort of similar tone. And then this glitter paint, which again is a bit darker, but it's all the same sort of tone. And I thought we could, you know, maybe make a mix of all three of them. My basic thought is we'll start with this one, sort of put a bit of that on, and then put a bit of that on the top, and see how it goes. And this is a finished result. So I did like a whole layer of the first paint, then a bit more small dabbing on with the second one, and then the glitter again. That was kind of everywhere. I mean, it has now stained my sponge, and my sponge is glittery, but I guess that's a sacrifice we had to make. But I think it's turned out kind of how I wanted it. It's sort of got that more nice sort of subtle sea kind of feel. My only issue is the paint bent the foam board, and then when I tried to straighten it, it created these like stress lines in it. So not the best. If you know how to sort of paint foam board and it not bend, please do let me know for future reference. But now we've got it, I'm going to score along a line on the back of the foam board so that we then can create a corner to this room. I mean, it's going to be a bit dodgy because, like I said, we've got curved walls now, but we will do it. And I decided not to do the corner until I'd painted it because I was worried that paint was going to sort of clump in the corner. So again, I'm hoping this is the sensible idea and doing it afterwards. We shall see. It works, we have our corner, we're just, like I said, very curved. We're working around it, we're going to work around it. Now usually I quite like to do a skirting board on the bottom of rooms, and my preference would be to do it in like little wood sticks, painted white, but with the curvy room that's definitely not happening. So we've got options, we could maybe just do paper along there, but I do have something else that I think will look better. I have this washi tape that I got from Amazon, and it's sort of a similarish kind of colour as the base, and it's got stars in like green and blue and metallic silver. So I think we could use that as our skirting board, and at least it's, you know, not gonna care about the fact our room is a bit curvy. Okay, I think that does look quite cute. I think it just gives a bit more unusual, a bit more special for this baby room. I do think I want a window though in that wall, but it might not work so well because it's curvy, but we're going to give it a go. We're just going to cut out a hole, line it in sort of wood sticks, and then we'll have our basic room. And here we go, a window. It's not too bad with the curvature. It's doing what it can. But essentially just cut a hole in the foam board, lined it with the sort of skinny stirrers, then these are thicker bits of wood around the outside, and we've got our square one in the middle. And then on the back we have some doll packaging. But we do need some kind of window covering. So I've got another one of these, painted it white as I did with all of those. Cut some tiny bits of the square dowels, so then we're going to be able to put it up here. And we're not going to do thick curtains, we're just going to do this netting which has a sort of pretty metallic scale pattern on it. And we're sort of put it up there. I'm not 100% sure how we're attaching it to here. I'm thinking maybe clear glue. We're going to try this, cover this side, stick it on, then fold it around and stick it around there. I don't know. We're having a go. We have a lot of Hobbycraft things currently. Okay, so that actually works surprisingly well. We just put a layer of glue on this side, stuck it down, waited for it to dry, then put glue sort of on the top here and side, waited for it to dry, and we have our little covering. So we just need to glue it to the wall, and we have our window and curtain. And voila! I like that. But you might be wondering about flooring, and I've decided I'm not doing a permanent floor. Instead, I'm going to use this roll of sort of white, I guess, velvety kind of material, and then I can just roll it out and roll it back up when I need it. Like so. But this does also give us options if we want to do a different flooring at any point with this room, we can. But for now, I think we'll just stick with this white. But now we do need some furniture for this room, so let's get making. So obviously we need a crib, and we're going to make it out of these things. For the main structure of the crib, I'm using cardboard, and it's going to have 3 solid sides, and then one side that has the sort of slats, mainly because I don't want to do 2 sides of it. And for the bottom bit, I'm going to make sort of a faux drawer just so you've got a bit of storage. So let's start gluing. Like so, but we're leaving off this end because I think it's going to be easier to put this bit here before we put this side. And I do want to use these coffee stirrers just to finish off all the raw edges. And for the drawer here, I did cut down 3 lolly sticks so they don't have the rounded edge, and we're going to glue those 3 on to make our sort of drawer. It's in sort of bit of wood in 3 parts because I didn't have any big enough wood. So we've now covered what's going to be the drawer, and we've just finished off those edges. We still need to do that one, but we'll wait until we put the side on. I now want to put sort of the mattress, and for that I'm just going to use some packaging foam, which I'm going to cover in this blue fish material. So we're going to use some hot glue for covering this, so just put a line along there and fold it over, and same for the other edge. So then I'm going to fold it a bit like a present, so fold that bit down and fold this bit over. And then once it's covered, we can just pop it in here, and then we've got this square dowel which will be going here, and I've cut a load of these circular dowels which are going to be going along here. And to cut them all, I've used these miter shears, and it's still a pain to try and get everything exactly even, but we've tried our best and we will see how it goes. And I was just about to say I was going to glue this in now, but I won't because I want to paint all of this. And now the fun part, we've got to glue all of these in, yay! And we'll do one side then the other and hope for the best. Wish me luck. So here it is, and I think as anybody probably could have predicted, they weren't all exactly the same length to be able to stick them. So instead of using the square dowel, I've used one of the coffee stirrers, and we had to do it like this. It's the only way it was happening. But it's fine, we can still stick it in and stick on our side. Right, so that's now all the gluing done, but I want to paint this before we put our mattress in and add some decorations. So let's get painting. Now here is our crib fully painted, but there have been a few minor adjustments. For example, on the sides, I'd forgotten we'd got a raw seam sort of here from the foam board. If I was making it again, I'd put that sort of this bit to go all the way along here, and then this would be on the inside. But no matter, we covered it with this sort of white wood grain effect. It's sticky on the back, but that makes more sense because we are going to be using this later on. So I like this as a change. It's a good change. I am a kind of crafter who just makes stuff up as I go along, so it's always an adventure. I don't know where we're going to end up either. But let's get this in now. So just slot it in. So we've got somewhere for our baby to sleep. And you know what, I'm not sure I want this to be a drawer anymore. I don't know, I kind of like it just being the wood sort of panels. We might leave it. I was thinking to maybe stick on a bit of card that I'd covered with this stuff and then do make it a drawer, but I don't know, now I'm looking at it, I think I just like it as is. But we are not fully leaving it as is because even though it looks cute plain, I want to put some details. Because I got these stickers from Hobbycraft. We're going to stick some stickers on because they're cute, and I definitely want the whale. I like this whale. And I do think he should be kind of pride of place. They're quite cool stickers, they're not flat, they've got sort of some volume to them. Okay, there we go. I don't know if that's too many, too little, but we'll go with that for now. I just think it adds a bit of fun to the end of our crib. And we do have somewhere we can now put our baby so it can sleep. And I admit that's maybe a little bit big, but babies grow, and so you don't want a crib that's, you know, not going to fit your baby after a few months. So now we've got our crib, I think we need to do one of those like baby changing tables that have the sort of drawer units. So to do that, I've got 2 side pieces that are the same. I've got a front piece that we're going to glue like that. This is going to be the back piece, so that's going to be glued on the inside. And then we've got a top piece. But I'm also making a little cupboard to go by the side of it because I have something I want to put on the cupboard. So this, again, we've got sort of side pieces, front piece, back piece, and top piece. So let's get these glued and we'll start back. Oh, wait, no. So all of those are going to be covered in this wood grain paper that's, like I said, it's sticky on the back. I don't know if it's a vinyl because it is kind of shiny. We're going to need to cover the top pieces before we glue them. So I guess we'll glue the outside, sort of all the perimeter, cover it, cover these, glue these. That's the order we're doing it in. So we've got our drawers glued together and we've covered the top in that paper. So now it's just going to be a case cover it all around there and glue the top on. And then we can add the drawers. Both now fully covered. We've got the tops glued on. I did cut that one down though, I wasn't happy with the height. So I took this much off, and a lot less fun cutting it while it's made up, but still doable, not impossible. Next thing we need to do, I want drawers here and a cupboard door here. So I'm going to cut some shapes out of this corrugated card. Now I'm only using it because it's thin, it's something I've got, but it's maybe not the best material, just because like there is quite a lot of sort of, I don't know, can you see the ripply texture to it? And you can sort of squeeze it a bit, but like I said, it's what I've got, so I'm using it. So then once we've got the bits cut out, I'm gonna cover it again in this sort of white wood grain. So we get pieces like this, and like I said, can you see that? The lines from the corrugated cardboard, but it's fine. So we need to glue that on there, and we're gonna be gluing a load of drawers on here. So there's our faux drawers and cupboard, but this is a baby change, so we do need to put something on top here. And I've been painting more of these square dowels in white. I just find I spend all my time painting things white. So we're going to glue those on top like that, just so we've got a little barrier. And then cover this bit of card in our fish fabric so that it can slip in between here, but we need to now glue everything down. So there we go, just a little changing table on top there for the baby. But we do still need drawer handles. And I want to use some shells. So I'm going to pick something from in here. So these are the shells I've chosen, and I'm now going to try hot glue them on as neatly as possible. I gloop some on there, and let's stick it on. So there we have our baby change table and drawer unit and side cupboard. And I said I wanted to put something on this cupboard for the reason we made it, and I wanted to attempt making a little lamp to go on here, but a jellyfish lamp. So I glued together a dowel and just this circle of wood, and then painted them silver. But for the jellyfish bit, I'm using this, which is the top of the popcorn, this one here, that we opened a few videos ago. So I've got this sort of shimmery purple crepe paper, and I'm hoping I can sort of glue it on here with some Mod Podge. That's the idea anyway, so we're going to give it a go, because I like just trying things and seeing if they will work. So I guess we just layer it up. And then just start sticking down pieces, sort of a decoupage kind of thing. Okay, I think that did turn out alright for what we were wanting. I'm happy with that. But next we need like the tentacles. So I've cut out just a little circle in card and some more strips of this crepe paper. And with these I'm just going to sort of squidge them up a little bit to give a bit of sort of, I don't know, movement texture. And for the end bit, I'm just going to sort of cut it so it goes to a bit more of a point. I'm then just going to glue the other end and stick it to a circle and bend around. So that's going to be one of the little tentacles that will essentially go under here. Then once they're all done, I think I'm just going to glue another circle on top just to secure them in place better. And then I need to glue this on top of our lampstand. So essentially it would look kind of like that, but we are going to add some light. So I have these little like balloon lights, which you take that out, it turns on, and if you put that back in, it turns off. So obviously this isn't like a permanent thing. If you had it on, it would be on all the time. I'm just going to put some blue tack on the top here, and I'm going to balance on the light side. I know that seems weird, but trust the process. And then what we'll do is remove that and balance that on top. Now, let's just turn some lights off. Okay, come on, that's cool. I mean, yes, I know we're a bit precarious, we're balancing, but once I'm not like shaking holding it, it'll be on a little side table, so it'll be fine. Go on though, that's cute. Here it is in place, and I did add some stickers to these drawers because I thought if the cot has them, we probably should put them on here too, just so it kind of themes more. So there we go, and we'll chuck those in the room, ready for later. Now I do also want to make one of those like baby mat things, you know, like one of these kind of things. So what I'm going to do is get two of the square dowels, sort of glue them together like that, do it twice, and paint them white, so we've got our sort of frame there. And I've also painted one of those thin dowels white, so we're going to glue that together. We'll just glue this and this first. And at the same time, I'm just going to use this bit of scrap foam board, cut it down and cover it with that fish material that we used for the crib. So we get something like this, and I did just put a bit of felt on the bottom just so it's neater. So we're going to have that as the mat, and then I'm going to glue this onto the edge, and then we can glue this side on as well. And from Temu, I got this bag of little charms, so I'm going to pick 3 of these out, and we're going to then hang them. So to hang the charms, what I'm doing is getting a bit of wire, and with these needle nose pliers, I am making a hook, so it'll be able to hook over. I'm putting a couple of beads if I just want it to be a bit longer. That fish I kind of wanted longer than the octopus. I'm then using the needle nose pliers again to make another little loop and cut. We can then hook on our charm and just secure it, and then hook over, and again just sort of squeeze to secure. And there you go, that is our fish themed baby playmat. Let's get it in the room. So there we have all the things we've made inside the room. I did just add one more of the stickers onto there. I just thought, you know, above the headboard might be cute. If I'm honest, maybe it would have looked nicer without stickers, but we went with them because it's a kids' room, it's meant to be fun. I mean, I do think we're going to need in general some more things in this room, but for today we've got the furniture. You know, any extra toys, accessories, that can come another day, but we've got the big items. And I think all that's left today is we need a baby. So let's open a capsule. Right. Oh no, this is a bad one. Let's hope what's inside is good. Right, paddling pool, so not really an indoor thing, but that's fine. And this is going to be a new one for me because it's a different colour from what I already have. So, second bag, we get the like parasol and the bit to attach it to the paddling pool. We get a little swim nappy that's pink with a shark pattern on, so that's appropriate. A pink rubber ring with also sharks on again. It's appropriate, it's fine, I'm liking this. Could have done it with a little bit more air though. And come on, best thing, it's a shark hat. Oh, it works, it just works. We opened the right one. Okay, let's get this little baby out. Oh, and it's a blonde baby and we don't have the blonde baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, successful capsule. So there's our baby in the nappy and hat. Oh, perfect. Can we get the rubber ring on? Let's squish you a bit, baby. Yes, we can. So cute. And then baby's in the paddling pool. Oh, okay. I actually can't believe we opened an appropriate capsule for this room today. That is amazing. Okay, I've had to change baby into a white nappy though, just because the pink wasn't really matching our theme. Okay, and let's just have a little look up close at this baby because they're so detailed. I really love the series 2. Like, series 1 were alright, but the series 2, like, oh, they're so good. I mean, look at all the little details. Little toes. Like, they have done such a nice job with this series 2 babies. Right, let's put our baby on the playmat, and I just want to turn the lights off for a second so we can appreciate the jellyfish light. Like, I really like the jellyfish light. That was very made up as I went along. Like, I knew I wanted one, didn't necessarily know how it was going to be made until I made it. So we've got the baby playmat, the baby changing table with drawers, side cupboard and jellyfish lamp, and then the baby crib. And I think it's only appropriate that we put our shark toy in the room. But here it is, our basic start of the nursery. Like I said, we've got the furniture now. For me, I'm still debating about the stickers. I mean, they're done now. And maybe when we've got the accessories, we can add more colour to the room so they won't look as out of place. I do wish that this material had been a little bit more on the green side than the blue to match with the walls, but finding the material I wanted was hard. I got this from Temu. It was finding like a small pattern and I really wanted fish, and that was the best I could find, so it's okay, but yeah, if it had been a little bit more green, that would have been better. And if we didn't have curvy walls, that would have been fantastic. But like I said, we just work through the adversity that comes our way. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my chaotic crafting. That's what I do. Hopefully at least maybe gave you some inspiration, and it shows that you can just do. Just go and start and do and see where it leads. But if you did like this video, please do hit the thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos, do subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!